Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tavon Diggs with the real world of real estate, life, and business. Welcome to my channel. I have a great show in store for you today. We are going to be discussing running a business on Facebook, how to have an effective Facebook presence, and how to run Facebook ads so you can get the best return on investment possible for your business. So we can help you get some targeted leads, get some leads coming in, and get your business really running like a business. All right. And I want to introduce my man, Mr. Robert Fuller, who is shutting it down right now. He is shutting it down right now in the internet space, man. Yo, he is throwing up numbers like crazy. And I'm just so happy that he was able to take time to come out here and educate all of us, because he's definitely taught me a few things over the last couple of days, and I just had to share it with everybody. So thank you, and introduce yourself, man. How you doing today?
Hey, Tavon, man, it's truly my honor and pleasure to do this, man. We've known each other for years, so just to have the opportunity to offer any type of assistance, I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely, man. I know you're going to shut it down today, and just load them up with value. So, but what I wanted to first get started with is just a little bit of your background. Where you came from, how you got here, how you end up working from home now. Pretty much doing what everybody wants to do. Living the dream, man.
Right. Get some freedom in their life and not be a slave to that time clock.
Exactly.
So I moved to Florida from East St. Louis, Illinois, about 5 years ago. It was right at a transformation period in my life where I had just woke up that one morning and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was tired of the life I was living. I was tired of the direction it was headed in, and I needed to make a change. One of the first things I did was change where I live, and I moved down to Florida. When I first moved to Florida, I got introduced to the online industry. We actually started out in the same company, Empowered Networks, way back in the day, right? Actually, Tavon was big guy on the block back then. I was a brand newbie, and him and Chris Dacres and them, the Billionaire Success Team, reached out to me. I learned a lot with that company. I tried a couple other MLM companies, and kind of got discouraged about the industry in general. Just because, not as far as the online industry, but as far as network marketing, MLM, just because I didn't see a lot of potential for individuals that weren't versed in techniques, that didn't know a lot of the inside tricks, that hadn't spent years in the industry. It was hard for somebody to come off the street and just plug in and make money. So when I got to that point, I kind of stepped back and I started to go through a lot of trainings. I started to really research how people were making money in this industry, which led to me switching over to marketing and brand development consulting. I worked with a lot of the local charities here, or with a few of the local charities here, and some local businesses and a couple of local politicians, a couple of community activities that they were really trying to publicize, and did really well with that. The problem was, though, is that, I came into this industry, I come from a rough past. And so I have a lot of love for individuals that are really just scraping to get by and are screaming to break out of their life. And that demographic can afford my coaching. Right? $200 an hour is not a realistic, nobody who's scraping by could afford my coaching. Well, the gentleman that actually introduced me to the industry, Joe Stewart, really good friend of mine. At that time, I had gone up to Illinois to work on a project I was working on, and had been up there about 3 weeks, and he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, Rob, I know you've left the industry alone. I got something I want you to look at. Take a look at it." And I took a look at it, and it actually caught my attention just because it was at the right price point where individuals that I really wanted to help could afford, where it would, because I couldn't lower my coaching costs, right? I had lights to keep on. I got a family to feed like everyone else. So I couldn't afford to make it affordable for people. But what it gave me was an opportunity to give them a business opportunity where I could give them the coaching, grow them, and still make enough money where, I could keep the lights on and keep the family fed and keep some clothes on their back. And I'll tell you what, just that's been about I've been online now for about 4 years full time, and I swear this industry saved my life and really helped me grow as an individual, because at the end of it, the core of the online industry is personal development, right? Because one of the first things that you learn is that your life, your business, whatever you got your hands on, is just a mere reflection of who you are. So if you want to grow what you got going, you got to grow yourself, right? You can't get bad fruit from you can't get good fruit from a bad tree, like you can't get bad fruit from a good tree. So you got to improve the tree to get good fruit. And, you know, things have just been going crazy for me. The team's growing like wildfire. I'm really starting to impact some lives. And, you know, at the end of the day, you can take all the money I've made in this industry, and you can take every dollar that I'd make from the end of my life in this industry, and just the impact that I've made on lives would keep me happy for the rest of mine. I tell you, because for me, that's what it's all about.
Yo, man, I totally feel you, and thank you for sharing, man. And I just know, just from the years that I've known you, you know, you've helped me with some consultations. You've helped me, you know, break through some different areas in my life where I was struggling. So I definitely know where your skills are, and you know what you offer. You know, so I definitely understand, you know, not being able to lower that price point, because what you offer is invaluable, you know. So I definitely appreciate you sharing that. And man, I just want to hit on that personal development thing right there, man, because I agree. I'm right there with you, man. Like if I wasn't introduced to this industry, I wouldn't have gotten introduced to the idea of spending 30 minutes a day reading something that was going to, you know, stimulate my brain and help me become a better person. You know, and by doing that, I have changed my whole entire life. You know, and that's why I preach it so bad to other people, that they need to read, listen to audios. You know, yes, it may sound boring. It may sound cliche that, oh, my life can't change just with a simple book, but it can. You know, and I've witnessed in my own life and the lives of others just the way that their lives have changed just by reading a book or listening to an audio. You know, and it's possible, man. And so we're here to share with you some serious value. And just, you know, one quick thing before we dive into the really good stuff, I want you guys to hold on to the end. You know, once this video is uploaded and ready to go, there's going to be a link at the bottom of the screen where everybody can take a sneak peek at what my man Mr. Fuller has going on, and what he's doing right now is changing the lives of average people. You know, because I completely resonate with the idea of helping the average person, because those are the people that are struggling right now. The people that have the money to invest in the courses and the marketing straight up front to be able to get amazing results right off the bat. Those aren't the people that we want to help. We want to help the people that are like right here at home. You know, the people that don't have hope, and we want to give them hope. We want to give it back. And so that's why I brought him here today. And so we're here to give you a little bit of hope and some education that's definitely going to help, you know, launch your business and help you take off in a major way. All right. So let's start with the basics, shall we?
Okay.
Let's start with the basics. We want to help as many people as possible. So let's start with what do you feel like are the necessities for building a successful business fan page on Facebook? Just to start off.
Well, I tell you what, and let me, I just want to touch on what you said about the personal development thing for a minute, okay? Because I want people to really understand this, right? Because people think that it takes a bunch of money, or you know, that if you don't have money, that there's no way for you to climb out of a hole, right? And here's the thing, right? You can find plenty of examples of individuals that were born with plenty of money and have destroyed their lives, and individuals that came from nothing and ended up at pinnacles of success that they never would have imagined. And we're all born with the same three basic resources: our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And every skill that we develop is branched or is born out of those three basic resources, right? Successful people don't have anything that the average person doesn't. They just use those three basic resources in a much more effective fashion because they fed them, because they've grown themselves. So the first thing I'd say for anybody developing a successful fan page is to develop a successful mindset and develop a really empowered philosophy about life. But you know, that being said, you know, we're not here for the mindset. We're here for the technique. So let's jump in. when it comes to Facebook, I would say that there's four main ways, or there's four key elements to monetizing. Okay, you got your main profile, you got your fan page, you got groups, and you got Facebook ads. Okay, I'm going to run through three, and it's going to be kind of a high level sweep through. We're not going to dig too deep because I don't want to throw so much out there that people are like, oh my God, but I want something that's actionable today, something that anybody can jump into and go right from the beginning and understand. I'm going to start. I know you wanted the fan page, but I'm going to start on the regular profile because that's real quick. It's basic. It's where everybody starts. You can't have a fan page without a profile. So let's start with the profile.
Okay, man.
And so in my brand development consulting, one of the main things that I used to tell my clients is everything that you put out for advertising, that's what people are going to associate with your brand. Right now, as far as anybody that's working on Facebook, I don't care what industry you're in, whether you're in real estate like Tavon, whether you're in network marketing or consulting, your brand is you. You start on your profile. Now, I know a lot of people don't use their profile for advertising. They tend to keep it just for the family and things like that. My family understands what my business is, and I'm not obnoxious about the way I run my business on Facebook, which would be the first golden nugget, right? Don't be obnoxious, right? Give actual value that anybody can really latch on to and really appreciate the fact that it's there. So don't be obnoxious, right? So since I'm not obnoxious with my advertising, since I'm not just spamming advertising post after post after post, half my family and friends share my post because they're like, wow, that's value. That's great. I like that. I like that insight. So the first thing, let's go to the basics of a profile. One of the main things, and I see this all the time, and let me hit my control button. So you see this right here? It's an actual picture. It's not a car. It's not a beach. It's not a dog. It's not some slogan. It's not a picture quote. This is me, right?
Are you trying to share your screen, bro? Because it's not sharing. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to share my screen. Look, I jumped right in. I jumped right in, and let's see. Let's do this one. Let's see.
All right, there we go.
There we go. You see him? You see my profile now?
Yep, we're good now.
All right. So let's start. This is okay. So now after I've already gone on my diatribe, right? This right here, it's an actual picture. It's an actual picture of me. It's an actual current picture of me. But it's also a very tasteful picture, right? It's got a good, I'm going to pull it up. It's got a good backdrop. It's a decent picture, at least for an ugly guy like me, it worked out pretty well. But it's something that catches somebody's attention and would cause them to be interested and want to at least take a look and see what I'm about. The next thing that they see is right here, your banner, right? Now, I have my own website. So I made sure that my banner has my website on it. It has a slogan that an empowering slogan that I think that excites people and gets them interested in what you want to do. And so right there, right, somebody comes across and they say, okay, this guy looks pretty cool. Let's take a look. Now here goes Tavon's webinar. But here's the key, right? Is each post that I put on here, it's value. It's something worth saying. It's something worth hearing. It's something worth seeing. It's picture quotes, the whole nine. It's written quotes. It's something that's going to capture somebody's attention and make them excited or at least interested in who I am and what I'm doing, right? And that's the whole key to marketing, is just getting people interested in really taking a look or feeling really comfortable or connected to your brand.
Mm-hmm.
Now the fan page. All right. And I've gotten back to focusing on this fan page. Obviously, for the last about 3 years, I was more focused on consulting. And so I ended up having to do most of the work and most of the things that I was learning, I'd be applying to what my clients were doing. And so a lot of my own personal platforms got kind of ignored for a while, just because the only time I'd really have to open them up was when I needed a new consulting client, right? And one thing about consulting clients, if you're good, they keep coming back. So my fan page, even my website kind of got ignored for a while. I've started picking it up. You see this week I got 42 likes just to the page alone. I've ran an ad that 340 likes, 40 shares. But you'll notice that everything on my fan page is designed to catch people's attention. What you'll also notice, both on my profile and on my fan page, I don't share posts. I put original content up, right? I don't share someone else's post because, one, it's going to hurt your edge rank. It's going to kill it. You're not going to get as much reach for your posts. You're not going to get as much engagement. People aren't going to see it. They're just not going to get exposed to it the way that you would like them to, okay? So good content, original content, right? I can go all day with pointers on how to maximize your edge rank in Facebook. I don't want to get us lost down that rabbit hole, so I'll kind of leave that there. If anybody wants more information about that, reach out to Favon. He's very familiar with it. Reach out to me either which way. We can get you more detailed information on that, okay? Some big things that I think people lose sight of in the fan page is that you can do an action button. You can do a call to action button here, right? Mine's led to take them to my website. One of the other things that you can do is you can upload free email, free giveaways like ebooks. This is an ebook that I use for email capture, a lead magnet. You can put lead magnets, load lead magnets on your page so that people go through your free
main offer.
Yeah, your free offers. I'm sorry, thank you, brain fart. Your free offers. And they can get more of an idea of who you are, and they can also see what type of value you can bring to them, okay? Insights is huge. One of the big things about a fan page is you can track what type of engagement, you can track, what type of reach, how people are interacting. You can even see what times they're interacting. What this does is you can go through all your posts and kind of get a feel for, well, what of my content, which of my content are people most interested in, right? What's catching their attention? What's really getting them to where, what's really getting them interested in me? And I'll tell you, the fortune in perfecting your marketing is evaluating how it does, evaluating what type of engagement you're getting, really taking stock of how well you're doing and what's working and what's not working so that you can adjust your marketing to fit your target audience, okay? The other powerful thing about a fan page is you can't run a Facebook ad without a fan page. It has to be run off your fan page, okay? You can't run a Facebook ad off your regular profile. So if you're in business and you're trying to do it all off your regular profile, you're missing out on 50% of the marketing value of Facebook, if not more, because it's Facebook ads and that really can drive home whatever business you're doing, whatever offer you have going, whatever investment you have going. That's how you can really drive home and drive traffic to your offer, okay? So this is the main thing that I guess the meat and potatoes is today's course. I have most of the ads I've ran have been for clients. I haven't read an ad for myself in a while. This was the first one I did. Now understand there's a few things that affect your reach on an ad. One of the main things is going to be ad targeting. But another thing that affects your ad is how big is your audience already, right? Like right now, this is a page I've left alone for a while, but so I'm only at 464 likes and added 42 this week. So it's starting to grow. But you'll notice fan pages that have like 10,000 likes, fan pages that have 100,000 likes, they're going to get a greater reach even on their paid boosts or paid ads, just because they start with a larger organic, a larger organic component to them. The money or the real magic in Facebook ads is your targeting, on the ads. And there's a couple ways. So when it comes to ads, there's three main things, three main options that I would recommend everybody to play with, okay? One is to do an ad that's created for impressions, one for post engagement, and one is lead. You can actually in 2 clicks, capture a person's email off of Facebook. I'll say that this was actually something I discovered while researching, trying to brush up on some of my skills, trying to polish up some of my understandings for this webinar. So I'm just getting into this, but I've seen individuals doing it. I can tell you, I'll have to come back a second time for that because that's going to be huge. Okay. And because with the leads, I mean, whether you want to run a lead magnet, whether you want to do a webinar, or whether you want to do a contest, just being able to capture somebody's name and email off of Facebook, and you can capture all types of information, right? Facebook will, depending on what information you choose to capture, everything from gender to age, even to the type and model of car, right? You can capture all this information off if you're doing lead targeting for your ads. But I'm going to stick with the post impressions and engagement, which engagement right now has been the main one that I've focused on, because I want people to start getting engaged with my brand, engaged with my content, engaged with what I'm doing. Now you see right here is boost your post. Okay. Now there's 2 ways to run an ad. You can do it right here off of boost your post, and you have pretty much the same functionality. Well, there's actually 3 areas. Facebook has the boost post. You can go through the ad manager, or you can go through the power editor. Why they separated these and did them in separate, I really haven't found the answer to that, and I don't want to hazard a guess. But it's just the way it is. For instance, and there's certain things that you can only do in certain areas. Okay, there's certain types of ads or there's certain types of ad goals or ad objectives that I can do off of just boosting the post. But there's more that I can do off of Ad Manager, and then like the Power Editor is the only place that you can run an ad to the lead capture ads where you're capturing people's emails off of. So we're going to go through just the boost post right now, because the main thing that I wanted to go through was the target, how to target your audience. Okay. So we're going to run a new ad. Okay. Because this is one I actually waited to boost this post for this webinar, and we're going to create a new audience so I can kind of walk people through step by step. Now I'm going to tell you that when targeting an audience, you want to start with location, but you definitely want to include interests and age. Okay, and that's because the more targeted that you have your ad, the more targeted to your target audience that you can make it, the better engagement and the more quality leads that you're going to gain. Okay, and I'll show you where the leads come in a moment, right? So this is my RAC video. So the name of the ad is going to be RAC, and this just helps me track it back in my ad manager. Okay, now depending and there's some. You can get some software that can help you adjust the landing page or adjust how the landing page reaches based on whether it's a men, woman, whatever criteria you want to go in there. I don't so much separate out gender because, I have a pretty equally split demographic, although I do tend to be a little bit more popular in some areas, but I'm open to whatever gender, just because most of my content is pretty gender neutral. One thing that I do prefer to do, I do prefer to have it 21 and older. Okay, I'm not saying 18-year-olds don't have money or they're not in the industry, but by 21, at least in my experience in my life and with most of the lives that I've been around, it kind of took till 21 before I really had any real direction to myself of where I want to go. So that's just a personal preference. Play with it, see what works best with your target demographic. I don't know. It depends on who you're targeting. Okay. Locations. Now I want to tell you that for me, I try to get my potential reach between 5 and 10 million. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that I'm always going to hit, or that I'm going to hit 5 million, but I like to keep it between that target. Obviously right now, this is kind of a smaller fan page. It's only 460 some likes. So it's a little hard without just running the ad to really hit 5 million. Okay. So, but one of the ways that you do that, one of the first things you want to do is locations. Now, there are 5 main English, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 main English-speaking countries that have credit cards. And those are the ones that I tend to prefer because those are countries that I know that people are going to have money to invest in whatever the opportunity or whatever more, whatever I'm trying to get out to them, that I know that they're going to be more likely to be able to get engaged and get involved and afford getting involved. And those are obviously the United States, Canada is another one. And you'll see right here, right? You can have Canada. You can even go down to cities. So it depends on who you're trying to target, right? It depends on what you're trying to do. If you're just trying to sell a house in a specific city, you can actually target the surrounding city areas of where that house is located, of customers that are most likely to be interested in whatever, in that house or whatever you're offering. Now, in this case, we're looking at country. So Canada, and I'm going to do this according to what type of audience that I would do. I'm not going to, if you'd like, and you let me know, Tavon, because I did pull up, and we kind of ran through some more specific real estate industry targeting. Would you prefer me to do that, or are you okay with me just running this ad like I would normally?
Well, you can go through the real estate interests, because I do have a viewer that's going to watch this, and he's very interested in the Facebook ads and his and putting it with his real estate business. And for all the other viewers that are watching, the philosophy is pretty much the same, with any business that you have. So regardless of what, if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to do research for your own business. And if you need somebody that's going to be holding your hand, it's going to be kind of hard for you to really, make it in this industry. But we're going to set the basics out so that you can pretty much take what we're doing, take the philosophy and add it to your business, because only you know what your customers are really looking for,
And I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen for a minute because I want to pull this back up because you hit it right on the head. If you're in business and you haven't figured out, if you haven't really figured out who your picture perfect avatar, in other words, who would be the picture perfect representative of your target audience? What are their likes? What do they do? Where do they go? What are they interested in? If you haven't done that yet, I mean, you're spinning your tires. You have to know the audience that you're trying to reach. If you don't know the audience that you're trying to reach, if you're marketing to everybody, you're marketing to nobody, right? Because nobody's listening, because none of it seems specific to them. And if it's not something that they feel like really reaches into their life or where they're at or what they're interested in, they're not going to pay you any mind. And another thing that I want to point out about Facebook advertising, right? People don't go on Facebook to buy, right? They're flipping through their timelines, right? They're looking at stuff that catches their attention. So any ad that you run on Facebook, the first thing you should be focused on is a shock factor, right? A pattern interrupt. Something that's going to make them stop just scrolling through the nonsensical or the mindless posts that they are, or whatever, your target audience, I hope. And so what they're looking at on their, you have a general idea of what they're looking at on their news feed, and you want to create an ad that's going to interrupt that, catch their attention, and capture their interest right then and there, okay? So those are 2 big tips. First, pick out your target audience. Know them as thoroughly as you possibly can. And with all of the analytics that's available to you, from Facebook Insights to Google Analytics, I mean, the affinity categories that they're interested in, I know what percentage of my fans are into movies. I know what percentage of what type of movies they're into. I know where they're going. I know where they're shopping. I know all this information because it's all out there once you start learning how to use your analytics and once you actually start evaluating your audience, right? On top of which, a lot of it is just common sense, right? Because here's the thing, you can put yourself in the shoes of the person that would be interested in what you're doing and actually kind of feel out for yourself how to capture that interest. And that's one of the first things you should do. Second is the shock factor of the ad. And that is huge because, like I said, people aren't on Facebook to buy, right? You go to the store to buy. You go to Amazon to buy. You go to eBay to buy. People aren't on Facebook to buy, but they do buy. But what determines that is whether or not you can interrupt their mindless surfing and capture their attention enough for them to hone in and focus on what you're offering, right? And then as long as what you're offering is something valuable or something that they're interested in, they will buy, okay? But you got to catch their attention first. So let me go back to screen share. That's the end of that diatribe. All right, so let me see, where am I at? Okay, can you see the video now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so where was I? Oh, did they already erase it? All right, so create new audience. R-A-C. There we go. All right, so first, location. 5 top English-speaking countries with credit cards. United States, Canada, UK, not the Ukraine, the actual United Kingdom. Where's it at? Let me pull this down a little bit. United Kingdom, Australia, and New Zealand. These are the 5 major English-speaking countries with credit cards. Now you can add some, you know, you got Ireland, you got India is doing pretty good economically. You got some countries that you could add to that, but those are going to be the 5 main ones with credit cards. And then interests. Now this is where the real targeting comes in. And you see, I hate when it does that. All right, so these are the 5. So you got business and industry, you got entertainment, you got family and relationships. These are the main categories, right? But in each of these categories are subcategories, right? What type of business are they interested in? What type of things are they interested in? And same thing like fitness and wellness. You got all types of subcategories. And the more specific that you get on these subcategories, the more that you're going to be honing into your target audience. All right. And the more that you hone into your target audience, the better response that you're going to get. The more people that you're actually trying to reach, that you're going to reach more of the people that you're actually trying to reach. So this targeting is huge. Now, one thing that, and people say, well, you know, how do I know who to target? And I'm gonna give a few of the examples for real estate, right? For me, for real estate, I'd be looking at things like Remax, right? Competitors, things that, you know, in established brands that are right in line with whatever I'm trying to get out there, with the audience that I'm trying to get out there, right? And like, for instance, if you're trying to sell a house, or if you're trying to give out, you know, a lead magnet for real estate agents, or a lead magnet or advertising to people that are hunting for a house, well, they're going to be looking at Remax. They're going to be looking at Caldwell Banker. They're going to be looking at these companies. They're going to be going to their websites. So these are the people that you want to target. If you can't figure out who you want to target, and I'm going to give this trick away real quick. You can go through your news feed and you can pick out, okay, see, this is a sponsored ad, right? So you go over here and click this button. Well, why am I seeing this ad? Now, what that does is that tells you what the person was targeting and why it's showing up in your news feed, right? Like here, I know that Jason targeted people that want to reach people interested in Frank Kern, right? So he targeted Frank Kern. And you can do this with every sponsored ad. I tell you, I spent a whole day one time just going through all the sponsored ads on my news feed just to see what they were targeting. And I picked up a lot of targeting that I wouldn't have figured out, right? Not that I wouldn't have figured out, but a lot of targeting that I hadn't even thought of, right? So right here, we see that Joe is targeting people ages 25 to 50 who live near Port St. Lucie, Florida. So, right, so there I know that that's what Joe was targeting. And you can do this for sponsored ad after sponsored ad, and that's a wealth of ad targeting ideas, okay? So let's go over to power. Well, thanks. So I'm actually I'm gonna redo this in the power editor, just because I can actually, you know, it's a lot more space to work with, and I can show you the audience. I want people to see what type of potential audience it is, right? Now you can target conversions, engagement, or traffic, right? And it kind of depends on what you're trying to do. Am I trying to sell something? Am I trying to run traffic somewhere? Or am I trying to get engagement on a post for social proof? I like engagement a lot just because not only does somebody then engage with your post, but if it's a good post, if it's a good ad, then right there, they're going to get interested in your brand. They're going to get interested in your business. They're going to get interested in your product. Whatever the case may be, they're going to get interested in. So we'll run right back through this. It's a custom audience. You can do a lookalike audience. Let me show you this. So a lookalike audience, right? You can pick a specific fan page or a specific website or a specific profile that, okay, I want to target people that are like this. And it will actually populate whatever that target audience is. That will be people that have those same type interests, people that have those same type affinities, then that's who the ad will go to. I like custom audience just because I like to play with it, okay? So create new. We're going to create a new custom audience. Oh, no, I'm sorry. So or actually, let me take that back, and I'm sorry. So with the custom audience, right, you can pick certain websites that whatever the audience of that website is, Facebook will find people on Facebook that are similar in affinities, that are most similar in affinities to that website. Or if you have like a customer that you're working with and they have that are on Facebook and they've already created a custom audience, you could just upload that. In this case, we're just going to start building an audience, okay? So once again, the five English-speaking countries with credit cards: Canada, UK, Australia. And if you have any questions for me while I'm doing this, please don't hesitate to ask.
No problem.
Because it takes me a while to get everything typed out. Now look at this, right? Off those 5 countries, that's a potential reach of 269 million people. Now, people are thinking, wow, that's huge. You know, that's amazing. But here's the thing, right? Once again, if you're marketing to everybody, you're marketing to no one. You're not going to get as much response as if you narrow that down to that 5-10 million. From everything that I've seen in all my experience, that's kind of the sweet spot, that 5-10 million potential reach area. Okay, so how do you start chopping that down a little bit? Well, you start in, like the age. You can choose a different age range. You'll see, okay, there we're down to 249. You can choose a language. English, right? All English, whether it's British English or US English, down to 235 million. Detailed targeting, right? This is huge. This is where the real thing is going. And you see, I already have, and look, you can target MLM, you can target parenting, whatever you can think of, basically, right? Lifestyle. Lifestyle, sociology, right? You see, I can target the lifestyle condom brand if I want to. There is no limit to how detailed you can get with this targeting. So like we were talking about, right? Real estate. Let's look at a real estate target. Remax. Okay, we got as an interest or as an employer. Are you targeting somebody shopping for a house, or are you targeting an agent? Which one are you targeting, right? What type of product are you putting out there? Is this a lead magnet where you're trying to get the interest of real estate agents and so that you can have them later to market a course to? Are you selling a house, right? What is the product? What is the opportunity? What is the business that you're trying to capture attention to? Now look, right? That one little adjustment, look how that chopped down that, right? Right now I'm only reaching 8,600 people, and people go, well, that's kind of working backwards, isn't it? Well, yeah, if that's where you stop, right? But look what it does. Since the first one I put in was Remax, it starts bringing up suggestions that match what I was targeting there, right? So say you're not, say you're having a brain fart and you can't figure out, well, what are some other companies? Well, Facebook will bring them up here for you, right? It'll bring them up. So you just start adding things. Okay, let me hit Century 21. Let me hit Keller Williams. Let me hit Caldwell Banker. Now, I would say that if you do this, I'd look at what are the major real estate companies in your area, because not all real estate companies are everywhere. And so I would target, I'd do my research, I'd do my homework, and I'd know who it is I'm really trying to reach here, right? But you can keep adding, affinities, right? And then say like your house the house has a swimming pool, right? You can target people that are interested in swimming pools that are also, and it will target people interested in swimming pools that are also interested in these, right? 4-story houses. No. All right. How about say it's a duplex? Let's see. Right? Interested in a duplex? You got a duplex to sell? Well, here. Now let me find people interested in duplexes, right? So the targeting is where it's really at. And if you target correctly, let me go back to my campaigns here. Let me close without saving, because I don't want, no offense, but I don't want that one.
It's all good, man. Oh yeah, can I just throw one thing in there really quickly? Just for the beginners that are watching, my man Rob has been using the word affinity a lot, and I just want to kind of get you guys up to speed to what that word even means. Affinity really has to do with what your content has to do in relation to the people that are interested in what you're posting, basically. So it's basically the relationship between the viewers and the content that you're posting on your page. So in a way that it relates to each other. So
that's exactly it. What is the subject of your content, and what does the person have? What is the person interested in? If their interest matches the post content, then they have an affinity. If it doesn't, then the affinity, and the more loosely it's combined, the less the affinity and so forth. But that's a huge component of edge ranking Facebook. Thank you. I'm sorry. Yep. It's so long, power edit. All right. If you get your targeting right, I mean, look now. Tavon's going to show me up, right? He came out with 3 cents. I would say though, if the student isn't better than the teacher was a failure. So I'm not mad that he runs a first ad and comes in, because look, this is the first ad that I ran off this page. I came in at 4 cents a click, right? 4 cents a click. Say, well, okay, so you're getting clicks, but what does that really do? How does that really benefit you? Let me cancel out all of this. Well, I'll show you what that does. Let's go here, right? Let's look at the people. Now you see that this post, business related. Now, this catches anyone's attention, right? Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. That's an attention grabber. That's something that I don't care if somebody's into business or not. That's something that everybody can say, yeah, I like that, right? Copy, right? There's 2 parts to an ad. There's content and copy. And when I say content, that's whether you're putting up a picture quote, whether you're doing a video, whether it's a free ebook, that's your content. How you describe your post is your copy, okay? And both of these have to be strong. The stronger both of these are, the better the quality of the lead that you're going to capture, right? So, that you reach, well, look right here. I got off of one ad, I got 340 people to go through and look at their pages and see, well, did they just like my content, or were they actually interested? What does their timeline tell me about them? Or is it just that they were just, they liked the saying on my picture quote and they just clicked to like? Or is what's on their timeline, does that look like they're interested in my actual business? That's all a lead is. It's a collection of people that you can potentially reach out to try to talk to about your business, right? Cold lead, warm lead, hot lead. They're all leads, and that's all they are. They're just people to talk to about your business. Not only do I have these 340 people here that I can go through just off of one ad, but then 40 people shared it. So I can start chopping down out of this 340. I can go to this 40 first. Well, who are the 40 that shared it? Right? Because they were obviously so interested, and this is real big here. If somebody shares it, go and tell them thank you, right? Be courteous. Reach out to them for a couple reasons. One, it shows that you care. Two is it's another point of contact. And people don't buy on the first time around. You're going to touch someone 5 to 7 times, I think, is the average. I've heard the average mentioned as high as 12. You know, it's sort of anecdotal. It's a little hard to say what the right answer is. But so you're going to touch somebody 5 to 12 times before they buy what you're selling, right? So there's another opportunity at a contact. There's another opportunity to get out there. On top of which, look at this, over 6,000 people saw my brand. Oh, I got out in front of 6,000 people, whether they clicked a like, whether they look here, love, those are the ones that you really want to follow up, the shares and the loves. But you see what I'm saying? Whether they clicked a like, whether they clicked a contact, either which way, 6,000 people got to see Thoughtful Talk blog come across their page. 6,000 people get to see me, my brand, reach out to them, and at least have had an initial point of contact from it. And to me, that's powerful, right? To me, that's powerful.
Absolutely.
Couple other tips that I would say about this, and these are kind of some higher level strategies. So, as a higher level strategy, the other one is a rule of thumb. Don't spend more than $5 an ad on a Facebook, $5 a day on an ad on a Facebook page. If you want to spend more than $5 a day, first off, I tested at $5 a day. Right? $3 to $5 a day to see what type of response, to see what type of engagement it is, to see how it's being received. Okay. But if you got a post that's doing good, that doesn't mean, okay, now let me start spending $10 a day in this one campaign. What you want to do is you want to make separate $5 a day campaigns. Okay. So that's how you scale up. You just duplicate the ad and start running more $5 a day campaigns. 2, the best time to run an ad is at the time of posting. Fresh. It's got the highest edge rank. And Facebook separates out organic and paid traffic. You can cut down your cost per lead. You can get further reach just because you got a higher organic reach right there. And if the edge rank is up, the post is going to get better edge rank right off the bat. So you're going to get a longer organic reach. So you're going to get more bang for your buck off of what you're putting into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And can you touch on that 3-to-1 ratio so we can make sure that everybody's out there exercising their skills as a real professional and making sure that they're getting the best results possible, because people only buy from people that they know, love, and trust. So that takes some building some credibility and relationships with people. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it like this, right? You ever been to a car lot and had that car salesman that just kept on trying to hammer you, buy. I mean, we've all seen the pages, right? Where it's business ad, business ad, business ad, business ad, business ad. And yeah, people might put up with that for a little bit, but I'm going to tell you that you're going to start springing leaks, and people are going to start fleeing like rats on a sinking ship, right? Because nobody just wants to be spammed. Nobody just wants to be bombarded with business offer after business offer. They want value. I recommend there's for a beginner, this is what I would say. If you're not familiar with marketing, if you really haven't perfected how to market through value and still be selling at the same time, then this would be my recommendation, right? Give 3 posts of pure value, a good picture quote, a great story, a good video that have nothing to do with business, and then one ad post, one post of strictly business. I'm selling something, right? Pieces of value for every sale. 3 pieces of value for every sales ad. 3 pieces of value for every sales post, right? 3-to-1. perfect. You know, in my experience, that's a very effective ratio. Here's something to learn. Here's something to grow on. Here's something for free. Now buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jab,
Mm-hmm.
jab, jab, hook. Jab, 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 hook, right? Just like a boxing show.
Yeah, that's a good book to pick up too.
Right?
I forget the name of the guy who wrote that, but that's also about social media marketing, content marketing, and it's a great book. And also, if you want to get your hands on .com secrets, I definitely recommend that one as well. I just got finished reading that. It goes to building a sales funnel, building a value ladder, so you have a better understanding of how to even, give front end offers and how to upsell. So definitely take a look at that.
That's a powerful book. And let me see, where is it at? Do I have it over here? The Social Media Bible, right? There's a book out, The Social Media Bible. And I mean, it has like every social media platform, every marketing that you could ever think of, and kind of runs down how to use it effectively. So I'll throw that book out there as a tip also.
Oh man, that's what's up. That sounds good. Listen, so what we're going to do is we're about to wrap this up. Mr. Fuller, you have definitely delivered. You threw some things in there that I still didn't know. I mean, we've been sitting on webinars, back to back, and you still held some stuff for me. So that's cool. I definitely got my notes here, and I definitely feel like I benefited, and I know the viewers that are watching definitely can benefit from what we gave today. And if you still find yourself struggling on how to target your target audience, how to figure out who your avatar is, or anything revolving around internet marketing, feel free to contact me or Mr. Fuller. We're definitely open to help you because we've been doing this. We just want to help as many people as possible get their business off the ground. And again, after this video uploads, there will be a link at the bottom, so make sure you check that out. Robert is doing some crazy things right now in the internet industry. He has some awesome products that he's working with, and he's really changing the lives of people, average people, every day. All right, so with that, I want to wish you guys many blessings. Stay tuned to my next channel. It'll be in the first of the month, somewhere around the beginning of the month. The first of next month, I'm going to be doing another webinar. So I'll be leaking out, what topic I'll be speaking on, and I have you guys loaded up with value again, I promise. And we're going to have a part 2 to this webinar, so stay tuned for that. So I'm out, man. This is the real world of real estate, life, and business. My name is Tavon Diggs, and I'm here with Mr. Robert Fuller. Thank you, and we're out.